All right. So today we'll study about gene regulation. Gene regulation. What is gene regulation? Now we have seen that from a DNA molecule, an mRNA is produced. mRNA is produced. This mRNA goes out into the cell, or in the prokaryotes, it is there in the cytoplasm only. So in the cytoplasm, this mRNA ribosomes are attached, and these ribosomes, they will synthesize these proteins. They'll synthesize this protein. This will go into the endoplasmic reticulum and it will form a post-translated protein or a mature protein. Okay, this is what is happening from a gene or your DNA. mRNA is produced. This mRNA undergoes translation, and this translation produces a protein. Okay, so this process is your transcription. This forming or production of this protein from this gene to protein, involving two reactions, that is transcription and translation. This process wherein a gene produces a protein involving transcription and translation, this is called as gene expression. Okay, this is called as gene expression. So why to regulate this expression? Why to regulate this expression? Why to regulate this expression? See, suppose if you don't regulate, what will happen? The pancreas if you don't regulate, what will happen is the pancreas, my god, what is this handwriting? Pancreas, it will keep on synthesizing insulin. It will keep on synthesizing insulin. All right. So if it keeps on synthesizing insulin, what will happen to the blood glucose level? Eventually this glucose will go down and you will die. So to prevent this, there are mechanisms wherein this expression of a gene will be regulated. Either it is based on the environment or based on the stage of cell, where whether it is a pluripotent cell or a specialized cell, or at the level of your translation only. Okay, so gene expression can be regulated at various steps. जैसा कि suppose there is a stem cell. Okay, there is a stem cell. Now this stem cell, embryonic stem cell, this stem cell, it either divides okay, it either divides into two daughter cells, so here cell division is occurring. Cell division is occurring. So the whole cell cycle is taking place. That is your M phase to your G0 phase, which goes into, sorry, G1 phase, which goes into the G0 phase, which again comes back to the G1 phase. This goes to the S phase, G2 phase, and back to the M phase. Now, there are so many regulators here, like your cyclins and checkpoints. Cyclins and checkpoints. Okay, so these are what they are doing. They are regulating the cell cycle. So the division here will be regulated. Now once these cells they form, say, pluripotent cells. Pluripotent cells. These pluripotent cells, they get differentiated into tissues, specialized tissues. Say some get into pancreas, some get into, some transform into muscles, some transform into blood cells, some transform into your heart. Oh my god, your heart. So who is telling these cells to get converted into these specialized cells? It is the epigenetics. It is the epigenetics that is controlling this. Now these cells, they have their own production. Okay, like atrial natriuretic factor, insulin, glucagon, collagen, troponin, then your blood cells, they have hemoglobin and all that. Okay, so who is telling them how much to produce, how much to produce, when to produce, what to produce, why to produce? Production of protein. How much, when, what, why, all this is decided by regulation of gene expression. Regulation of gene expression. All right, so what is gene expression? It is nothing but reading this gene in the form of an mRNA. That mRNA is studied by the ribosome and a protein is produced. So the information that is stored inside the gene getting converted into protein via transcription and translation, that is called as gene expression. Now this gene expression has to be regulated for proper functioning of the body. So this regulation, it can occur at various steps. One, during the cell division. Second, during formation of specialized cells, wherein epigenetics play a very important part. We'll study what epigenetics is. Next, different tissues, they produce different kind of proteins, and those proteins, how much should that protein be present, when that protein should be present, or when it should be produced, what should be produced, and why it should be produced. All these are nothing but paradigms of your regulation of gene expression. All right, now gene regulation, it can be basically of two types. Gene regulation is of two types. Sorry. One is positive regulation, one is negative regulation. Positive regulation and negative regulation. What is positive regulation? What is negative regulation? In presence of a regulator, in presence of a regulator, if the regulator is any substance or any protein, in presence of this regulator, if the gene expression is increased quantitatively, gene expression is increased quantitatively, then it becomes a positive regulation. what is happening? If the regulator is present, the gene expression is increased. Okay, suppose if lactose is present or glucose is present, then the gene expression of the enzymes for their metabolism is increased. That is kind of a positive regulation. Negative regulation, in presence of a regulator, if quantitatively the gene expression is decreased gene expression, decreased gene expression. So whether the regulator is present or not, if the regulator is present, what happens to gene regulation? In positive regulation, gene expression is increased. Negative regulation, gene expression is decreased. So to define this, I'll write it down. To define this, positive regulation, how will you define positive regulation? If expression of gene is quantitatively increased in presence of regulator, it is called as positive regulation. Negative regulation, if expression of gene is quantitatively decreased in presence of a regulator, in presence of a regulator, then that is a kind of negative regulation. Okay. In the absence of regulator, suppose if the regulator is absent, what happens to positive gene regulation? The gene expression will be decreased. In positive regulation, gene regulation will be decreased, whereas in negative regulation, the gene expression will be increased. Okay? So two kinds of gene regulation. Agar biryani hai, if there is biryani, you will get hungry. That is positive regulation. If there is biryani, you get hungry. That is positive regulation. If there are books, or if there is an exam, interest in studies goes down. What will increase? Sleep will increase. Okay, bad sarcasm. Okay. Basically, what is positive regulation? Positive regulation is increased gene expression whenever the regulator is present, and whenever the regulator is absent, then the gene expression will go down in positive regulation. Okay. Now, there are three kinds of responses. There are three kinds of responses to regulation. Responses to regulation. What are those three responses to regulation? First type, or type A response. Type A response is, suppose I'm having trouble with my laptop. Okay, type A response is, suppose here You have given a stimulus here, okay, and this stimulus is still here. So what happens is the curve, there will be a response, and the response will end when the stimulus ends. This whole thing is the stimulus. So the response ends with the stimulus will end, and it will come to the baseline. So next time if a stimulus is there again, next time if you give a stimulus, you will get an increased response. This is type A kind of response. Mostly we see this in prokaryotes. Where do we see this? This kind of response we see in prokaryotes due to changes in cellular concentration of nutrients. एक बार खाना आया, once glucose comes inside, so it will start producing the enzymes for glycolysis. So glucose is diminished. So what happens is again the expression of glycolytic enzymes is coming down. Then it is at the basal level. Next time food comes, what happens is this time more amount of glycolytic enzymes are coming inside. Why? Because more amount of glucose in a short time that bacteria want to take, because it more amount of glucose that bacteria want to take, because it is not sure if it will get the nutrient again or not. So this kind of response to regulation is called as a type A response. Next we have type B response. Type B response and a type C response. Type B response and a type C response. Okay. Now, type B response is a kind of response you will see when there is a stimulus. When there is a stimulus, only a brief response is seen. Small response is seen, and it will come back to its base level where the cell is going to recover from that stimulus. Okay. And again, when a similar kind of stimulus comes, a shorter response is seen for the same amount of stimulus. Okay, this kind of response to a stimulus for transcription is called as type B response. Now, where do we see this? Mostly are pharmacological agents. Drugs. That is how they get habituated. Drugs. So suppose there is an alcoholic. सबसे आसान मैं तुम लोग को समझाता हूँ. What happens is, like first 1 month of his person, if he is starting to take alcohol, first 1 month उसको response बहुत आएगा. Say he has taken 30 ml of alcohol. Okay, so he gets delirious. At 30 ml of alcohol only in the first few weeks, first 2-3 weeks. Then what happens? At 60 ml, he will become delirious. And after some time, no matter how much you give, he will not become delirious. Why? Because his response to that pharmacological agent becomes less and less. So what happens is, to get that effect, what people do is they go on increase their substance of abuse. Okay, it may be alcohol or any other drug. Same thing applies for our pharmacological agents also. Okay, now this kind of response is also seen during development of an organism. Okay, development of an organism. Next, third type of response is a response wherein if you give a stimulus, the response will be there, and this response is never ending, always present. So this kind of response we see in tissues which get differentiated, tissues which are getting differentiated. This kind of response is inherited and irreversible. Suppose a cell has differentiated from a pluripotent stem cell into a cell of eye, that is a retinal cell. Okay, for its lifelong, this cell will be a retinal cell only. This retinal cell will not be converted to salivary gland or anything else. Okay, so this kind of response is type C response. So three types of responses: type A response, wherein stimulus gives a response, the next stimulus will give an increased or enhanced stimulus. Type B is repeated stimulus will go on decreasing the response, and type C, once it is activated, it will be activated for lifetime. Okay, so these are the three types of responses to regulation. Two types of regulation: positive regulation and negative regulation. If regulator is present, there is increased gene expression, that is positive regulation. If regulation is absent, there is increased gene expression, then that is negative regulation. Okay, so three responses: type A, type B, and type C. Next thing we need to know is, what is an inducible gene? What is an inducible gene and what is a constitutive gene? Okay, inducible gene and constitutive gene. Inducible gene is a gene whose expression increases because of an inducer or an activator. If an activator or inducer should be there to increase its gene expression. Activator or inducer should be there to express its gene expression. Like glucose should be present for the cell to release insulin. So insulin is so glucose is an activator or inducer for what? For insulin release. Constitutive gene, these are also called as housekeeping genes. These are also called as housekeeping genes. Okay, they are always expressed. No stimulus required. Okay, now this kind of genes we see in, say, your hexokinase in liver and glucokinase in liver. Hexokinase always present, correct or not? Always present, acts at low amount of sugar also, whereas glucokinase, it is induced. Glucokinase is induced because its affinity is low, it requires high concentration of glucose, so it is an inducible enzyme. So constitutive gene or housekeeping genes are those which are always expressed. Okay, whereas inducible gene, something should be there for it to induce its production or induce its expression. All right. Next, what do you understand by the word derepression? Derepression. Derepression means, suppose activator is there. Okay, this we call it enhancer also. What does it mean? It means, common sense, it increases gene expression, or it increases anything, or it activates anything. Next, inhibitor or repressor. Inhibitor or repressor means it decreases gene expression by inhibiting or something like that. Now, repressor here means inhibiting. Derepressor means inhibiting the inhibitor. Inhibiting the inhibitor. So when the inhibitor is inhibited, what will happen? Gene expression will be increased. It is like enemy of an enemy. क्या होता है? Friend. Correct or not? दुश्मन का दुश्मन, दुश्मन का दुश्मन, दोस्त होता है. Correct or not? So something like that. Derepression is where a repressor is there, and this repressor is being inhibited so that the gene expression is enhanced. Okay, so derepression means activation only. Derepression means activation only. Okay, what it is doing? It is inhibiting a repressor molecule. All right. Now, what is the basic difference between prokaryotes and eukaryotes in gene regulation? Very simple. Prokaryotes or eukaryotes. What is the difference? See, in prokaryotes, operons are present. Operons क्या है? कि suppose glycolysis is there. Okay, there is glycolysis. Glycolysis, what are the enzymes? Let's say hexokinase, phosphohexosisomerase, phosphofructokinase, aldolase, and so on. Glyceroldehyde, 3-phosphate dehydrogenase, all those. Now, all these enzymes, okay, all these enzymes are present on a single gene in prokaryotes. This is the gene for hexokinase. This is the gene for phosphohexosisomerase. This is the gene for phosphofructokinase, for aldolase, for pyruvate kinase, and so on. All these genes will have a single promoter region. All of them are present on a single linear array. Okay? This is the DNA. On the DNA, they are arranged side by side, linear way. This is called as an operon. This is called as an operon. This kind of operon is present in prokaryotes only. Whereas in eukaryotes, this whole thing is the DNA, full 1700 your micrometer. Either hexokinase रहेगा, इधर कहीं पे pyruvate kinase रहेगा, इधर कहीं पे aldolase रहेगा. Okay, so it is quite dispersed. Genes are very much dispersed in eukaryotes, whereas in prokaryotes it is not dispersed. Okay, now are we still connected?
Yes.
Okay. So so this is the basic what you say fundamentals for gene regulation. Now we'll see gene regulation in prokaryotes and gene regulation in eukaryotes. Okay, 5 minutes break, फिर we'll start. Okay. Are we still connected?
Yes, sir.